Hey everybody, it's Uber Dante here. Happy holidays. It's that time of year. I made a new game, and this is called um, Logicards Christmas. Christmas version. A couple years ago, I made a game called Logicards, and there's a few different versions out there. There's four different versions based on the different seasons, and it was a 3x3 kind of logic game where you would flip the cards over. You'd follow the instructions on the cards that you flipped over and try to get all the cards on one side. This is a variant on that where you're trying to make this Christmas tree. So if you know that game, then it's basically got the same rules, even though the setup is looks a little bit different. And I kind of went in a different direction, but this one has got these kind of the original Logicards kind of went by, what were the numbers, move cards by their numbers or their position, their row, column, stuff like that. These all have every card has two ornaments, and the ornaments are kind of different on the back side, some of them the same. And the cards kind of tell you to do something with the ornaments a lot of times. So like this one says to flip all the reindeers. This one says to swap and flip any two cards with the same ornament, or flip three cards with the same ornament. The other thing they do is like levels. I don't know if that's the best word. Maybe rows is a better word, but you have these kind of three levels of the tree. So you can, this one tells you to swap cards from different levels, or there's one that says flip one card on the bottom of the tree, or flip all the cards on any one level. And there's one that's like flip the adjacent ones or something, but I think that's the only one that's kind of like the original. So, how do we play? You just shuffle the cards up. This is kind of a logic puzzle. You just kind of keep playing till you win. Technically, I guess there's a way to lose. But basically, you keep them all on this green side. Shuffle them up. And once you shuffle them up a little bit, you flip one at random. You continue to shuffle them, and then you flip the entire deck so it's on the white side. And then you lay the cards out in the format that I had it before. So in the original Logic cards, you just need to get the cards on the opposite side. But there is a variant where you have to get all the cards in order 1 to 9. So in this version, you have to do that. You have to get all the cards in order so they form your Christmas tree, and you want to get them all on the green side. And there's another variant where you just flip everything. So you have one, they're all green, and you have one white card, and you try to get them to the white side, which is a bit tricky. This is kind of opposite of what the other Logic cards have done in the past. So on your first step, you have one active card. So this green side is the active side, and this is going to be the operator. So you're just going to follow the instructions that it says and do that. So this one says flip all cards on any level. So I'm going to flip the cards on here because you do kind of have a hint of what's on the back side. And if you play it a couple times, you're going to learn what they are. But 2 and 4 both have this swap symbol. So these are the only ones that allow you to move the cards around. The other ones just let you flip. So I'm going to flip both of these so they're on their active side. And when you flip a card, it has a chance to become the operator. So this time I flipped 2. In that case, flip more than one card to its active side, then the highest card becomes the operator. So that would be the 4. And the 4 just says swap and flip any 2 cards with the same ornament. So this is my chance to put them kind of in order. So I can kind of see, okay, well, if this one has a Santa cap, and so does 4. So let's go ahead and swap those. And it also says to flip them. So we flip them. When I flip them, this card, you just ignore the 2 because that wasn't chosen as the operator last turn. So when you flip those, on that turn, I flipped 1 to its active side, so that's the new operator. So the 1 is the operator. It says to flip all the reindeer cards. So I'll just start at the top, and anytime I come to a reindeer, I'm going to flip that one over. So there's quite a few reindeer cards here on the top. And of those cards that I flipped to the active side, the 9 was the highest. So this one says to flip 2 cards with the same ornament. So ideally I'd like to get this 2 or this 4 again. Start swapping these again. So I could just flip those both again. Or what else can I do? I could flip let's look at what the 2 is. I'm going to flip the 2, which has a snowman. And you can also flip the operator that it says to flip any 2 cards. You can also flip the one that was the operator. So those both have a snowman. So that means the 2 is the only one that got flipped to its active side. And it says to swap 2 cards from different levels. And then after I do that, I'm going to flip a blue snowball ornament. So let's see. I already got 1 and 2 in place. I'm going to swap something from down here. I kind of want to leave, there's a reason I want to leave 4 down here if I can. 3 and 9, let's just go ahead and do that. And then I can flip. We've already seen 9, so let's flip. Well, I'll show you 6. Let's flip 6 as an ornament, and it says to flip either all of the Santa hats or all of the snowmen. You can choose. So normally I'm kind of avoiding this one because it's kind of randomly flipping cards. So you're kind of out of control when you have this one. And most of the logic cards have some card that's similar to that. So which one do I want to flip? I'd like to get this one going. I think maybe I can. So snowmen, there's actually right now there's only 2 snowmen. So the number of ornaments is going to change depending on how the cards are flipped over. So I have a bunch of hats and only 2 snowmen. So let's go ahead and flip those. That actually worked out for me pretty well. So now I can swap and flip any 2 cards with the same ornament. So can we put the 7 in place? Yeah, 7. It's not too hard to find 2 cards that have the same. There's only 5 ornaments, so, and each card has 2. But okay, flip those, and sorry, swap those, and then flip it, and so 9 will become my next card. And 9 is probably one of the more powerful cards to flip 2 cards, and it often comes up because it's the highest card. So that's intentional. Okay, so flip 2 cards with the same ornament. I'm gonna get these. I need to swap these again. So let's swap the 3 and let's swap the 3 and the 4 and see what happens there. 3 says to flip 3 cards with the same ornament. So if I can flip this 4, it's got a candy cane. Yeah, let's do the 4, the 7, and the 2, which all have candy canes. And that will let me do the number 4 card. Swap and flip any 2 cards with the same ornament. So maybe I can move this. No, can't move that 5 6, 7. Actually, no, I'm kind of in trouble here. Didn't think that one through. Well, you know, I can swap the 4 and the 5. That's fine. And then I can flip those. And now I just need to flip the 5 and the 9. Okay, so I flipped those. Now in this case, what happens? I don't think we got to this case yet. So I didn't flip over any. I don't have any active card. So in that case, 4 was the active. So what you do is you go up from 4 to the next highest one. And if there is no highest one that's active, then you go lower. And if there's no lower, then you stick with the 1. And in this case, if they're all white, it's kind of a loss. That's the one way you can lose. So 4 was the operator because I didn't get a new active card from the active cards I have now. I find the one that's the next highest from 4, which is 9. So I can flip 2 cards. That's good. Maybe I can flip this 2. Because I don't want, these can't swap with the 4 because they have different symbols, but they can swap with the 2. So if I can swap this, and I guess the 9, because those both have snowmen, and the 9 will become inactive. That lets me have the 2 as the operator, and I can swap these 2. And I need to flip. So let's flip this. Yeah, let's flip the 9. So I needed to flip a snowball ornament. So now I've got my tree is in order, but I need to get it all on green, all on the green side. So now I have to be careful not to get, not to make these active, because then I'm going to have to swap something and then swap it back again. So these are not optional actions. You have to do them. Okay, so flip 2 cards. So this is kind of the end game. I have to kind of figure out how am I going to do this. This 5, I know, flips all the adjacent. So if I flip that one, then all these are going to get flipped. Which maybe that's not a bad idea. 2 cards with the same ornament. So let's flip the 5 and then this 2. Okay, and then 5 becomes the active. I flip all the adjacent. So that just means anything that's touching. Anything that's touching. So if you're this middle one, it's everything but these 2. It's not touching those. If you're in this corner, it's these 2. So this 5, it's going to be these 4. So you can just flip those all over. And we're getting there. The 8 is now the active. And this is where you kind of trying to think it through. Up to now, just kind of concentrating on flipping these, swapping these. Now I've got to kind of figure it out. So flip 1 on the bottom row. Okay, I know this one lets me flip 2, but they have to be the same ornament, and these don't have that. So what else can I do? Let's try, I think this will work. Let's try flipping this 7. And 7 says flip all cards in a row, and let's try to flip these. Yeah, that worked. And I'm left with this 9 as the operator, and it says flip to any 2 cards. And now the 7 and 8 both share this hat. I can flip those over. And ta-da! I have a beautiful Christmas tree. And that's a playthrough of Logicards Xmas. Now I mentioned that there's another way to play. It's basically just the reverse. So I'm not going to go through that playthrough, but you basically, well, let's just set it up so I can show you how it goes. you basically do the same thing. You're going to flip over one card like I did before. And this time you're going to lay it out so you've got all the green cards facing up except for one, and you need to get them all on the white side. So at the start of the game you have a bunch of operators, so you just start with the highest one. It's probably going to be the 9 most of the time, unless it's the 8. And yeah, so you just kind of, it's a bit backwards, so it's a bit weird. So like I'll flip 2 cards. I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing this. So like, okay, I'll flip the let's flip the 6 and the 8. They both have snowmen. And now I need to go, I can't go higher, so I need to go lower. So the lower one is this 5. So I'm going to 5, I'm going to swap these 2 adjacent. Then I flip those 2 adjacent. And then from there I'm going to go to the next highest, which is again is this 9. And just kind of go through a similar way. Try to get these in order and then get them all to the white side. So there's an online version of this as well. So if you want to just like try it out, see what it's like, you can play that way, or it's just one page to print out, and it's kind of get you in that holiday festive mood, hopefully. Thank you for watching.